welcome to a brand new episode of Sequel Rights, the podcast where we take a look at the franchises that make you go, they made how many of those? And we give each and every sequel a fair trial. My name is Justin Camps, and I'm here with...
Elizabeth Helly.
And...
Davy Jones. I mean, Zordon. I mean, Tyler.
I mean... name. Oh, you guys, we are here shifting into turbo for you tonight.
Turbo.
We got our ignition keys, our cool multicolored cars, actually single colored but different colors, and we're ready to go.
I get you.
Drive through the desert on a movie train to Sequelville. No, I don't know what I'm saying.
No, you got to get those cars onto a boat first, and then you can travel. You get cars on a tall ship.
Yes, but first, we're talking about Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. Just in case you weren't sure that it was a Power Rangers movie, we put it in the title just in case.
Turbo, not the movie about that snail.
That's right.
Oh, shit. I forgot all about that.
So if you're here for the DreamWorks animated movie, hold on. We'll
Was
get to that
one
eventually.
called Turbo a snail tail?
No, it's just called,
Is there more than one?
Turbo. Not yet.
Oh, God.
There was a Turbo Netflix show, I think.
Yes, there was.
I don't play the... There we go.
Yeah, we kept the sound effects from last week. Everyone seemed to love them. So
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah.
We're back at it. Well, anyways, if you ever wanted to know what those turbo engines sound like, listen to this.
It's time to power up. The world's most famous action force is back on the big screen. With a secret weapon.
I'm the new Blue Ranger.
What are you talking about? A giant problem. And a whole new way
Wind Chaser, ready to howl.
This is awesome. To thrill.
Let's rip some velocity. All right.
Turbo action.
Good thing you don't need a license to drive Zord.
Turbo power. Turbo sword.
Megazord warp sequence is online. Let's shift to the turbo.
That's my man. Wow, cool.
That's my man! As Tommy says in the trailer, that was awesome. That was awesome. That's just what he's like, that's awesome.
That's awesome, Turbo Sword.
That's my man. I don't even remember.
My man.
I don't even remember that part from the movie.
Who's saying it?
That's my man. I think it's Justin's mom. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's
The
Diva.
Red Ranger?
No, what's her name?
Oh, Diva
Diva
Talks?
Talks.
Diva Talks. Yeah, it's Diva Talks.
Oof. Oh, you guys. There's a character named Justin in this movie.
Yeah, and he sucks.
What? Every time they said his name, I thought they were talking right to me.
Yeah, Justin.
Yeah. Is that you, Justin? I was like, it is me. I'm watching the movie. Stop talking to me.
When you morph, do you also turn into a full-grown man?
I do. Even now. This is... okay, so I was the only one who had seen this movie, but I did not see it in theaters.
Oh.
Was this in theaters?
It was.
Apparently it was.
So this is one, like, I wanted to see, but this is right about the time where I started falling off a little bit in the Turbo era.
You were like, girls. You were like, you were like, I could go see the Turbo movie, or I could go on a date to.
I honestly think it was
Sixth
like...
grade? Who goes on a date in sixth grade?
to Havana Nights.
I honestly think it was like... Beast Wars is on now. And
Oh,
that's
but-
a way cooler show.
It was. You were right.
I think that's honestly what the Beast Wars started in '96, and I kind of was like, Transformers?
You're telling me Optimus Prime is a gorilla?
Okay, yeah, I was like, okay, you're giving me Power Rangers, but like only the robot parts?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. and like the Power Rangers went from like, and this thing I never got, like, it's like, okay, so dinosaurs to like random woodland creatures, downgrade, in my opinion. Like T-Rex to frog or like saber-tooth tiger, like downgrade. To go from that to car, further downgrade.
Yeah, the cars.
Cars are so stupid. When they first were like, new Zords, and it's like just a bunch of dumb Jeeps and trucks. I was like, that's so
That's
lame.
like what Pixar made the same move with Cars.
Ugh. Well, and this is like jumping ahead, but because the cars and trucks are all like chunky and short, when they form the Zord, it's like wobbling around. Like it doesn't have long arms or legs because it's just monster trucks. Like it looks so stupid.
Yeah. Also, right before this, they were shapes.
Yeah, it's true.
during the Zeo series. So they went from badass animals, shapes. then
What were the
cars.
shapes?
I mean, I don't know. It was like a star, a circle, and a square.
One of them's like an
Trapezoid.
equal sign because they have the shapes on their
it's
face.
a vertical. Yeah, it's a vertical. Yeah, it's really weird. Square, one of them.
What?
Yeah, you can look at it right here. But they
Is it
also
like-
had before that. There
Did
were
they
like,
get their powers from Donald and
Sphinx
Math
and
Magic
stuff.
Land?
Ooh, good reference. Good pull.
Yeah. Well, they had the Zeo crystals, and they just had to do whatever.
This was after they became children.
Yes. So this is an interesting thing. So last time we were talking
Is it?
about yes. Last time we were talking about how
I just read about this on Wikipedia. I know nothing.
exactly. Last time we were talking about how the movie was not canon. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie not canon. This movie, Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. I almost said story, like Star Wars. Turbo, a Power
solo.
Rangers.
So,
I don't have
What do you got there? A powerful car? I'm going to call you Turbo.
I don't have a family name. I only have my car.
Turbo.
by the way, in every movie they do say, I've got a bad feeling about this, like
Yeah.
trying to be like Star Wars. And in this one, they double down on the Star Wars and their crawl is angled like
Oh,
Star Wars.
yes.
It wasn't in the first one.
Yeah, this one is straight up Star Wars crawl.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying about the...
Oh, I was just saying. So
Mythology.
this one, this film actually acts as like a theatrical pilot, basically for
Yeah.
the Turbo series. Like everything that you see in this movie gets continued in the Turbo series.
Now they all have lights in their helmet.
That's right. So yeah, we ended like we we ended the Zeo thing, and now we're in Turbo.
Yes.
Turbo mode with cars. And yeah, this is back to like I said, this whole movie feels like really a lot like the TV show.
It does.
There's many differences from the first film.
So
No more Red Hot Chili Peppers for number one.
the crawl, like, I don't know who any of these freaking characters are. And it's showing these weird names like Laragot and Divatax and this person. And I'm like, who the heck are these people?
They're all new, I think.
Exactly. No one knew these characters when
Okay,
this movie
so
came
that
out.
makes it even worse because when I was reading the crawl, I didn't know who they were. I couldn't necessarily tell that anyone was a male or female, and so when it said that they were going to join in a sinister marriage, I was like, two dudes are going to get married.
You're like, hell yes.
I'm awake now. You know, like this is some progressive shit right here. Turns out, no. But they didn't even mean like marriage in the metaphorical sense. They mean a literal marriage.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So my question is did Zordon stop moving in the show?
He did.
Okay.
So the version of Zordon that you see in this movie is exactly what he looked like in the show.
Okay.
Where it was like super like glitchy and like his mouth looked like it was just going like and they put words to it. But like, yeah, this is like the actual sets from the show that they put up
Yeah.
into a theatrical film. And yeah, he looks completely like the one. This is like why it's a weird, like, you know, it's a sequel to the first movie, but it's like totally almost divorced from it, other than some of the same characters.
I mean,
the look is completely
the
different.
look's completely different. I mean, well, this movie starts in a jungle with somebody aiming a crossbow. And
Yeah.
then the crossbow bolt fires, and it hits something trying to escape Jim Henson's workshop.
Yeah, it looks
And
like
this is Laragot.
Laragot. The T is silent, I believe.
You're right.
But he looks like the AM/PM monster. Like, you know
He
what I'm
looks a little
talking
bit like
about?
Gritty, too.
Yeah, he looks a little like Gritty.
He's a wizard, though.
But he's
He
a
is.
wizard. Yeah, he's kind of like a...
So, as a Power Rangers fan, how much does magic play into it, and how much of it is sci-fi? Because in the previous movie, we had to go to a different planet to get a great power. It seemed like that power could have been an ancient technology of some kind, but in this movie, it is straight up magic. He
Well,
is a
Ivan Ooze
goddamn...
and them, they have magic, and Rita has magic, right?
Is it magic or is it powers?
Yeah, it is weird because, I mean, yeah, it seems like alien powers more in the
Yes.
shows.
Right.
But both of these movies are like, we're going hardcore fantasy level.
Yeah, now
Like,
it's magic.
there's gonna be-
like he's a wizard.
Exactly. There's going to be wizards and magic. And then, like, some of the later shows have dove, like, way into, like, you know, like Mystic Warriors kind of stuff.
Okay.
And more Fantasyland type stuff. And, yeah, the early shows are just really more about, like, I mean, they have Zeo crystals in the previous
Yeah.
show, which I guess is a little bit more fantasy. But
There
it's-
goes. He's a Hufflepuff. What would we say?
Yeah.
Oh, certainly.
He knows 2 words: his own name and Zordon. No,
Alpha.
Alpha. Alpha. Sorry, he doesn't even fucking know Zordon.
Why are they friends? Did they go to like some retreat for like whiny people?
I don't know, but yeah, they're old friends. They
I love-
communicate.
I know. I love that scene where like someone turns to Zordon and he's like, "Wow, they can understand each other," and he's like, "As all friends should." And I was like, "Tyler, I don't get you. Don't like we can't communicate." As all good friends should. Boy, I'm a girl.
So the first time we see the Power
I can't
Rangers,
see you through this glass. I'm sorry.
they're fighting in the ring to prepare for a charity tournament to save the youth shelter
See?
because there's always got to be some
Yeah.
community center in peril.
So wait,
That's how the show was.
So
too.
wait, what's the youth shelter? Is it?
I know it's unclear if it's like an orphanage or a community center. Like you're really not sure.
Yeah, are there just kids? Is a place for kids, neighborhood kids, to go play foosball, or is it a place where like people need to
It's wherever
survive?
Justin came from.
But wherever it is, yeah. What's her name? Cat, Pink
Yeah.
Ranger, and Yellow Ranger, whose name is I don't even remember now. Tanya. They are in charge of all the children from the shelter.
So, Justin, explain to me what happened to Amy Jo.
You know, I don't remember.
I read about this on Wikipedia. Do
Have
you
you-
actually want me to tell you?
Yeah,
I would love
say.
to know.
Okay, so Rita Repulsa brought Cat from Australia and bewitched her so that she gradually took Kimberly's powers, I guess, and also hit on Tommy. And then she almost killed Kimberly by taking all of her life force or something, but then somehow they, fixed it and got her back, and then she became good. And then Kimberly decided to leave, and Zordon gave her permission to leave the Power Rangers to go train for her lifelong dream of being in the youth games, because I think they weren't legally allowed to say Olympics.
Those
So she
games
leaves.
young people play.
What was her sport?
I don't know. It doesn't say on Wikipedia. I'm guessing gymnastics because
Morphin.
Yeah.
because of like Amy Jo Johnson actually like was trained as a gymnast
Yeah.
before she got the job. So
I can tell you what happened to Aisha.
oh yeah, I know that too. Yeah.
So, I was talking last week too about how they all got turned into kids. Right?
Yep.
So they need to go find their Zeo crystals to get
Uh-huh.
their powers back, and Aisha goes.
The crystals are all incredibly racist, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where do you think Aisha went to go find her crystal? She went where all horrible people would think she went. She went to Africa.
Yep.
And she goes there, and she finds the crystal, but like she ends up staying there, and she sends Tanya back instead.
Yeah,
who's-
because she wants to help the animals.
yeah, who's also a kid, but then she slowly becomes a
Yeah,
she-
apparently they age her so that she can be a Power Ranger, and it's like she felt bad about it, but gradually got used to it. That's what it
Yeah,
says on Wikipedia.
so she's
I
had
was
a
like,
really messed up life.
Yeah,
She put a child from Africa on a boat
Yes,
to America to be a Power
that's right.
Ranger.
Teleported
To-
her with the
to
crystal.
be enslaved to a giant white head. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Also, like, this is just a girl thing, but I'm thinking, like, if she's a little kid and she suddenly becomes a teenager, like,
Yeah.
when she got her period, it was probably super fucking freaky.
Yeah, be pretty messed up. So that's those are the two new people, right? Everyone else is we still got Rocky, stupid Rocky.
But they have new colors now, which pissed me off because Tommy's
red.
Tommy is red,
and I'm
yeah.
like, red's lame. Like he was the cool one, is green and white. Like now that he's red, that's lame.
I don't remember exactly why they changed colors, but it's funny. Maybe they did it because they knew it was going to happen later in the movie.
Yeah.
But it is funny that if you were just like, I'm going to watch the Power Rangers franchise films, and you watch the first one and the second one, and you'd be like, what the fuck is like, I mean, like what you guys are doing.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, who are these people? Why are they're different colors?
Yeah.
I don't understand this show. Ah!
But yeah, now the Asian guy was the Black Ranger,
He's
but now
green.
he's
He's green
green.
now. Now he's
Oh,
green,
Okay,
yeah.
and then who's blue?
Blue is Justin.
Oh yeah.
But
So
Rocky,
Rocky,
that's
and then Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So no more black.
So wait, yeah, why did the Red Ranger become the Blue Ranger?
I don't remember.
Okay.
These are things I don't totally remember. But
If you had to, if you
I
had,
think it's
if
because
you
for
had,
some reason the Red Ranger is supposed to be like the leader at all times.
Yeah, I
so
think you're
Tommy
right.
had to become.
if
Red
you had to
Ranger.
improvise a reason of why these colors shifted, what would you say?
I would say like
Knowing the show lore.
they went and found the Zeo crystals and they were in a bag. And they all were like, reach into the bag and at one
No,
at,
but
one at
first
a
you
time.
gotta pull the pink one out because only the girl
That's
can be
right.
pink. Okay.
That's right.
Oh my God, Power Rangers make a man Pink Ranger.
No,
and make
it's
him
probably
be
because
amazing.
whatever footage they were taking from the Super Saiyan or Super Sentai or whatever, probably for some reason they got rid of their Black Ranger, and so then they
Yeah.
were like,
There was all sorts of cool, like also in the Zeo series, there was like a Gold Ranger. It was like really cool stuff, and then all that stuff is gone here. We get just cars. We get cars. We ran out of ideas for the Zords. They're cars now.
What's more American than cars?
Deal with it.
But where did the baby cars come from?
I don't know. So, not only do we get these new Rangers, we got what we've been talking about a little bit. Divatox is the
Yes.
new evil villain, scene chewing villain of the week.
Yeah.
And she is played
Hillary
by-
Shepard.
Yeah, Hillary Shepard.
Who has been in every television show?
Yeah. And she's actually like pretty fun. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, she's hamming it up like crazy, but
plays-
she's doing a great job.
Plays into the Power Rangers movie theme of just having scantily clad women.
Yeah, she.
Well, and she plays well into the villain tiers that because Bulk and
Right.
Skull are still there. Rita makes a cameo, but like Divatox is definitely more evil. Like she straight up doesn't even give a shit about her family members, and you know,
Yeah.
like yeah.
I feel like this is the first kind of time where there's not like a clear relation to like the original villains. Like everyone in the series moving up to this was like, it's Rita, and then it's like the person in
Her
charge
brother
of her,
or whatever,
yeah, and then it's
yeah.
her brother, and then it's like the Machine Empire, which is like
Yeah.
against her.
These people just show up from space.
Yeah, and they're,
She's like a pirate.
yeah, they're like underwater in this
So,
really cool looking like fish thing.
Here's the thing. I don't know if we know the production like story of this or where the turbo idea came from, or if the Japanese show already had the cars and they're trying to match
it already
the
had
TV.
the cars, yeah.
Okay, because this movie decides, okay, we're going to kick off this show where it's all about cars, and they're going to have cars. It's going to be awesome. Let's get a fully nautical villain that is in a submarine where the cars cannot get to her in the slightest. And then let's have half the movie have them get these cars onto a wooden tall ship. And then let's get the cars to a jungle island where they literally cannot drive.
I know.
The cars drive out of the water, don't they? That's
They
a scene.
they do,
Oh, okay.
and it looks dumb.
Yeah,
They
the
really
cars
do.
just look dumb.
Yeah.
They're
But they never, the cars never actually do anything.
That's why I know. I was like, the whole time, I'm like, this is why I wish I had maybe continued watching the show, because I'm like, the whole time, I'm like, yeah, why do they need cars? The cars can't fight things. They're just cars.
I just kept thinking about that monster truck from Roadhouse that you guys kept talking about too, and I was like, this is even lamer than that guy that drove through a dealership.
Yeah. I mean, that monster truck was awesome.
And it's like, the cars don't have guns on them or anything.
No.
They're just cars.
Cars.
But apparently, they're also boats. So, you know, that's a plus. But yeah, there's like...
they don't go through the water well. It looks like they just managed to get out before this tall ship.
And can they fly?
No.
I don't think so. There's just one shot where in the beginning when they first get them, they're like, we got to get to the coast. And they drive in a bunch of desert, and you're like, oh, look at how fast they're driving. And they go like, we got to shift into turbo. That's what they say now.
Right.
And as soon as they do that, the song is like, turbo. Go.
I mean, the song is great.
Yeah, the song.
Go,
This
Power
is
Rangers Turbo.
yeah.
Whatever, yeah.
This is great. So like, this is so if you watch the show, the music was done by this guy Ron Wasserman,
Okay.
and he does the music in this. So this is like, we had the movie before this, which is all like pop songs or whatever. This is the most like the TV show, the movies.
Yeah,
have
yeah.
been, because it's like the TV show had these great songs that this dude wrote, and like the theme song for the fucking Power Rangers that everyone knows that goes like this was apparently originally written for the X-Men animated series, and they never used it. Exactly.
What was this supposed to be like? X-Men?
It
X-Men?
was probably just like an action theme or something.
Oh, okay.
And then they like, apparently the story is like he had to, they were like, all right, here's the show you're writing music for. We want you to use the word go, and we need it by the end of the day. And then I guess he wrote this song in like 2 hours or something. Or maybe the bones of it at least.
That's amazing.
But this is great. So you get like this awesome Ron Wasserman, like
Yeah.
freaking turbo songs, and every time they fight, there's a song like, yeah, you're fighting now.
Okay, but there's one that I wrote down because when they're on the pirate ship and they're like sailing, there's
Yeah.
like this.
the ghost pirate ship.
Yeah, there's like this inspirational
Oh,
song,
yeah.
and it's like, I don't know the tune, but it literally said, as long as I exist, there's hope for this world. As
Yeah.
long as I personally exist, there's hope for this world. It shows like pictures of Tommy and whatever his name, Adam, like looking off into the distance. Yeah. Like,
So now Tommy and Kat are an item.
I don't know.
no, I think it's still just like a,
Will they? Won't
we're,
they?
yeah, well, they want
think
this
he's still-
situation.
yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
Kimberly's gone, but yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a point
But I think
where.
he's still pining after Kim.
The
Oh, of
movie
course.
makes
Who
the movie
wouldn't?
makes
Yeah.
the movie
I
makes
mean,
that
yeah,
clear.
who wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
I didn't like Kat, sorry.
No, she's not
She,
great.
they again isn't much for the other people to do in this.
Yeah, it's basically like Tommy, and then the 2 cameo roles that we have
Yep.
coming up later, and the villains, I guess,
Yeah.
kind of, that get all the screen time.
I do like Divatox's like entourage, like the skull. There's a guy who kind of looks like a marine.
Oh, there's the half moon from Basket Case is there.
yeah, and the half moon from Basket Case.
The costumes and everything are awesome.
They're great.
Like, throughout the movie, the costumes are great.
Yeah, no, this movie has like even more practical effects.
Yeah, they didn't do the CG. They were like, this is going to be just like the TV show.
No,
which was
I
all-
actually like the final battle here better because it is guys in suits
Yeah.
fighting in a miniature.
Even if it looks
village.
fucking goofy, like
Yeah,
it's,
it looks
it's
great to me.
better.
Yeah.
It's better. It doesn't age. It doesn't age this poorly.
No.
So I want to go back to the beginning though, because they're fighting to get ready for the charity tournament, and they keep fighting Tommy, or the other 2 guys keep fighting Tommy, and I'm like, oh god, that guy is trying way too hard, like this guy Rocky or whatever. And then they say something like, we really just got to try harder, and then he's like, well, maybe we just don't try hard enough, and he does like a sideways spiral kick that causes him to fly over the edge of the boxing ring and break his back.
And die.
And then not be in the rest of the movie. Like, so I don't know what was going on with that actor. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that was. I don't know. Maybe they were like, oh, we want to put a kid.
Of course, they want to put a kid in it for people to identify with, but like,
Yeah, but
if
like-
I were that guy, I'd be pissed.
They also were like, this is going to be what the series is. So we want to put a kid. Like, they must have been like, we want to put a kid on the team.
is a kid in the series too?
Yeah.
Oh.
The kids in the series too. Like
okay.
this is like everything in this movie continues into the show.
So they never bring back Rocky?
Rocky.
I don't think so. He might be in a couple episodes or something. But
Like in a wheelchair?
he never. No, he's fine at the end.
That's right, kids. Don't try too hard.
But I was like, maybe they were like, who's the most expendable? Since we want to put in, a kid.
Kid.
No,
Oh
yeah,
my
no, because
God.
they're basically like Tommy's the new Red Ranger. Like Rocky's irrelevant. I mean, from the last movie, Rocky doesn't really do anything.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just there to like be Hispanic. What? Seriously, isn't his name like Rocky de los Santos
It's
or something like that?
DeSantos.
Yeah. Okay.
Where did he have to go get his crystal?
I don't remember. You don't want to.
No, but the Asian guy really did have to go to Korea, and then Tommy got his in like the American Northwest or something. And
Yeah.
Kat had to go to
It's,
back to New Zealand or whatever it is. Yeah, like
Very good.
And this is all just from Wikipedia. I don't know anything about this.
Very,
but I'm so
very,
confused.
very good white television writers. Remember?
Yeah, seriously.
So
yeah, he gets replaced by the little kid who is either an orphan or just hangs out at the community center. We're really not sure.
Yeah, he's either in a ping pong league or he has no parents.
Yeah. And he shows up and they're like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Hey, I'm the Blue Ranger now. Alpha trained me how to fight and how to do everything and how to drive, and so now I'm here." And they're like, "Okay."
Literally what they say is, "We'll talk about this later."
Yeah, they're like Pete Davidson on SNL, like, okay. Go. Yeah.
Which that skit was so funny because it's just like, that's just who you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's so funny because it's like, they want kids to identify with this kid character, but like, I feel like a training montage would have been appropriate, or at least showing the scene where he finds out that he's going to be the Blue Ranger. Like,
They want to make it such a reveal where like he walks in and like you don't see him. It's like, you know it's that baby boy. You know it's baby Justin.
Well, it's like maybe people thought it was going to be Billy or something. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
But like, yeah, we skipped over a little bit. Not that it's that important, but they need to go. I just wanted to call out one thing that I thought was cool, as far as like world building stuff. That if you were like into the show, at the time you're like, that's cool. Before the whole startup of the movie, they haven't morphed or anything, and eventually they send. They give Tommy and Kat these like backpacks, and they're like, take these backpacks off to the jungle.
Power packs.
Yeah, power packs or whatever they're called. Because Larago, he's over there hanging out with a bunch of monkeys. He needs your help. The sun kills him.
But he is like the king. He's like C-3PO the monkeys now. He's like their king.
Yeah. These monkeys are hilarious.
This is a real shot of monkeys like all raising their hands in unison to honor Larago.
This movie.
They probably are still worshiping him to this day. Like those monkeys went and told their other friends, like, we saw this crazy giant monkey.
This movie, if there's a skill that you'll learn from a TV production process such as Power Rangers, where you were basically taking action sequences from a completely other TV show and cutting it together with things that you're shooting here, the thing that you get to become very good at is using stock footage, and this movie shows those skills with artistry. There is you. If you want stock footage of a giraffe looking confused, it's in this movie. If you want to see stock footage of lava erupting, it is in this movie. If you want to see stock footage of a boat sailing, it is in this movie.
The giraffe is like, is that a goat? Oh no, it's a Larago. But what I wanted to say was like they haven't morphed or anything this whole. Okay. They hadn't morphed this whole time, and like, of course, they get in some crazy situation where like Kat is about to fall off into the waterfall or whatever. And it's I thought it was kind of cool that like as she's falling, she tries to use her like Zeo powers to morph, because at this time they would have still been the Zeo Rangers, and like they don't even barely talk about that really. But there's a moment where she actually morphs into the Zeo Pink Ranger for a second.
She like half morphs, and then when she falls in the water, it's like nah.
Does the water break it?
I guess like it stops the transformation.
Okay.
But I just thought that was like a cool like moment for if you were like way into it, you're like, oh shit, yeah, they still have their Zeo powers. I didn't think about Turbo yet. But eventually, yeah, they go and get their Turbo powers in kind of a cool shot. They all gather around a Simon Says.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
And they put their hands down like, give me them powers!
At one point, when I was thinking about it, I was like, did they get their powers when they stuck the key in the treasure chest?
No, it makes no sense. I don't even remember what happens, but all of a sudden it cuts back to a scene where Zordon's like, all right, time for new Zords. We weren't even telling you about this, but hey, we got new powers for you.
So apparently I was watching it in this Amazon X-Ray, and so there is like, so you'll click on that, and it'll give you facts that are sometimes true.
Facts? Do you want to say what?
Yeah, as Justin was recalling, I was so when I clicked on it, it said that the Yellow Ranger was Aisha, and it was early on in the movie, and so I did not know that the actor had switched.
I was like, Yeah, I was like, no, it's a different. If it's a different Ranger.
Yeah, it
And
was
you
like,
were
I'd watched like the first 10 minutes of the movie at this point, but it had said on the Amazon X-ray, and then Justin pointed out, and I was like, I am the worst.
Yeah, but
person.
at first you're like, no, it's not. I'm like, no, it
I guess
is.
it's not it's feasible to think maybe they just recast her.
Right.
But no, it's different.
But we learned that Amazon X-ray racist.
Yeah, exactly. So take that, Bezos. But apparently, so the keys for the new Zordons were supposed to be from Larragots or Larragoats, like the Larry Goat, from his wand. They're supposed to be wands, supposed to be his
Right.
magic.
That was the whole thing.
That they just completely cut out of the movie.
Well, they
for some
do
reason.
very briefly explain that these keys have the same power, and they'll get you through the Nemesis Triangle or whatever the fuck they're talking about.
Oh my god, the Nemesis.
yeah, you better. You know where the villains are? The Nemesis Triangle.
Yeah.
At least it keeps that from Star Wars.
And they're crossing through it. But I just like this. There's like an actually cool shot of them like getting their new powers. Where, like I say, yeah, they put their hands on the
Yes.
Simon Says, and it like spins the camera around, and there's like these weird like digital laser effects that go
Yes.
up them, and they're like, and their like hair gets blown back and stuff. It looks kind of cool in like a retro kind of way.
You're talking about Simon, the game.
Simon,
Yeah.
Simon Says, yeah.
It's not Simon Says. It's just Simon.
And he goes, Simon Says, Red Ranger. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, suddenly they've got cars.
So the thing is that Diva Tox is trying to marry, what's his name?
Malagor.
Malagor. And in order to do that, she needs to have Larragot get her through the Nemesis Triangle, and she also needs to sacrifice 2 humans that represent something like innocence and power, or purity and power.
It's unclear on that. I was going through my notes. I just wanted to get through one quote of when they get these Zords, and we'll
Okay.
get back to what the process is of
Yeah.
summoning Malagar. Zordon goes, "Behold your new Turbo Zords," and then Tanya says, "They're just ordinary cars."
She
and
did
then
say-
and then Zordon says, "No, Tanya, that's right. They're extraordinary cars."
Oh my god, I forgot about that. I had to block that out of my brain. I was like, no.
They're just ordinary cars. No, Tanya, they're extraordinary cars.
And in the Zordon voice,
Yes.
which is so great.
Shut up, bitch.
You don't know what you're talking about. I took 30 years to build these. How dare you?
I also like
I
when
love
they're
how
on
much
the-
she calls it out. She's just like, "What? They're cars."
when they're on the pirate ship, they had to like fight off some monster or something, and Tanya's like, "This ain't the love boat," and the little kid's like, "What's the love boat?" Like,
Yeah.
Do the swim.
yeah.
Do the swim, Justin. Do it.
So Diva Tox's henchman nephew steals 2 humans, and for some reason, it is Bulk and Skull.
Police officer.
Oh, they're police
Bulk-
officers
Bulk
now.
and Skull.
There's
Wait. There's baseball in this movie.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Which
There's
is very exciting
there's
for
a scene
me.
where they pour mustard on their bus.
Yeah. Do you remember? Did they become cops in the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of subversive. That's fun.
Because, they're just like
They're bullies.
and they're the kids that never
Yeah.
get out of the town.
Yeah.
Well, I guess so are the Power Ranger kids, but they graduate high school and become cops. I can't do anything else. I guess I'll be a cop.
So
yeah.
I missed something because
Okay.
they take Bulk
We'll
and Skull,
be the judge of that.
and then their Bulk and Skull are imprisoned in the submarine.
Yeah.
But at some point, their hair turns white and they become German.
you
When the
missed
hell did that
nothing.
happen?
Yeah, you
missed
missed nothing.
Oh.
So basically, they get kidnapped to be the sacrifices of purity. Basically, they get Deus Ex Machina onto the submarine, and then she's like, "They're not pure. Like they're just dum-dums."
Mm-hmm.
And then so she wipes their memory and then turns them into Eurotrash.
Yeah.
They have silver hair and they're German now.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. It makes no sense.
What?
It's
Yeah.
just another thing for them, another way for them to be goofy throughout the rest of the
Yes, and then then they find some people randomly scuba diving.
Yeah, they just 2 random scuba divers that they're going to steal.
movie.
This
They
is like-
use their purity
I was
sensors.
like, did I miss something here? Because I was like, because they kidnap people that are scuba diving, and then after they kidnap these people, they're like, we were gonna surprise them,
Yeah, I don't know. They
surprise
were
them at
just
the
like-
youth center with pearls. I guess
Find us a girl with earrings and find us a guy with also one earring.
because Diva Tox manages to capture a scuba diving Amy Jo Johnson and other
Jason.
Jason. I keep getting confused because Tommy's real name is Jason.
Yes,
and so,
it is
but
confusing.
Jason is the original Red Ranger.
Yeah.
So
this is why the movie is actually pretty, I mean, not good, but exciting because you get the original Red Ranger back and you get Kimberly.
who is still the best person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's still the best and she gets like have the most fun later.
So was she? Maybe she was a water polo player for the youth games
Maybe.
because she's swimming.
They don't even really explain why they were scuba diving, right?
No, they do not.
They're just like, well, the bad guy's underwater, so we got to make them be underwater and together for
Because
some reason.
There's a whole Titanic thing happening.
someone they're looking for the heart of the ocean.
Yeah.
No, because the cars certainly can't go underwater, so let's put these characters underwater. So they get kidnapped, and then like they're trying to escape. It's kind of a weird B plot. Yeah.
But there's like a thing where they like have to open the vault door and they nearly drowned and they're doing the like climb up to the top and take a really big breath and then try to swim
I mean,
out.
yeah,
and
their
of
plan-
course her shirt gets stuck on a bolt and all the
It's
you know.
unclear because this is Divatox was on another planet under the water.
Are you trying to make sense of this movie?
So like
Tyler?
so this Nemesis Triangle ostensibly also on another planet.
It's like some sort of dimensional rift. I
But
don't
they're scuba diving somewhere that's on Earth.
It's in the ocean, but then when you get in it, it's like a cave with lava.
It's confusing.
Anyways, they're gonna sacrifice them to Malagar.
But so they're trapped in this
Malagar!
What Eels is talking about is that like their plan is like, well, once we get closer to this island, like we're gonna have to surface, and then we'll be 100 feet from the surface, and we can. Actually, it says according to my dive computer, which is a giant, like,
that they let him still have for some reason.
It will be 100 feet from the surface because once we get closer to them, we'll have to surface. And it's like, which makes it be like, hey, you got to know what the fuck is going on, and like where the fuck you are.
Yeah, you don't even know what planet you're on.
Yeah, you don't even know what plan she has. But I guess that the Red Ranger is like, well, like they're gonna have to surface, and we know exactly where they're going.
What if like the water and air is toxic to humans and they instantly die?
It's better. That's better than spending more time with
don't know.
Divatox, I guess.
They're like the Prometheus scientists or whatever. Like, yeah, just jump out into the water. Who gives a shit?
Hey, what's
Like,
this? Let me put my dick in it. Oh God!
problem. Get me back to the ship because there's a machine that only does abortions. You know, the machine you need an entire run for on a spaceship.
That took a turn. Really took a turn.
The abortion machine.
I didn't realize we'd be talking about abortions again so soon after Dirty Dancing.
It's a theme, apparently. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So, you're right. You know what? Prometheus borrowed a lot from this movie.
Yeah, Ridley Scott was like, you know what inspired me?
Go, Turbo.
Turbo, a Power Rangers movie.
They're like, really? Does it really make sense that they would just take their helmets off and then stick their dicks in them? And then he said, shift into turbo.
Yeah, he was like, you know what?
Roll camera.
The PR in Prometheus stands for Power Rangers.
Oh my God. I so regret bringing up Prometheus now.
So anyway, that didn't make any sense.
But like you
So
said,
they're
they
gonna-
put cars on a boat.
Yeah. No, Zordon tells them, like, find the ghost ship.
It's called, excuse me, it's a galleon, okay? It's called the Ghost Galleon. Get the alliteration right.
Which is like, I feel like the people that were writing this, it was like how I would have written, like, was the Ghost, let me answer you this. Was the Ghost Galleon in your pitch for your Power Rangers?
No. It is a fucking pirate ship that would not fit those cars.
No,
They
you
never
couldn't
showed
load
them.
the cars. How would you even? There's not like a ramp. Like, how would you get them?
Also, like, they never carried their Zords around with them all the other times. Why did they just appeared out of nowhere? Why do they have to have their cars like, we gotta put the cars on this ship and bring them with us?
I love how they show this is like an abandoned sentient ship because there's like a bell with some cobwebs on it.
Yeah. And they're like, wow, look, the compass is moving. It's just like the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. Look at the sails are lowered in themselves.
The nautical theme for this movie is so unnecessary.
Inexplicable.
Yeah, it upsets me.
Oh, man. Okay, so Divatox has chained up Kimberly and Jason. She's going to drop them into the lava and sacrifice them to what's-his-face to
Wait.
get Miriam.
We missed something important.
Did we?
Yeah.
You guys, one, we didn't talk about the body dysmorphia situation with Justin.
So Justin's a little boy.
It's
And
not
he-
body
I know.
dysmorphia.
And he runs around as a little boy, but when it's morphin time, he becomes big.
With a little boy's voice.
I guess there's precedent for it if they aged Tanya.
Yeah, that's true, but he rapidly goes back and forth. No, the real thing I want to talk
You know,
about.
Justin, if you want to know more about that type of transformation, might I interest you in this movie called Shazam, coming to theaters this year?
I'm gonna watch the prequel to Shazam called Big. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
No, that movie's also coming out later this year. It's
Bigger.
no, what's that movie? That's
It's called Little or something.
It's called
Yeah,
Little.
yeah.
Yeah. What I was really going to say was we forgot to mention that their turbo powers extend to how fast they can run.
Oh, that's right. Yes, so there's a point where they're running through because the cars cannot go through the jungle that they once they get to this fucking island. So they're not using their cars; they're running. They're
like free running.
Yeah, they're free running, and the speed of the cameras makes you feel like that they're running
And
fast.
Tommy's like, "Oh wow, beats walking, huh?"
And they're like, "Sure does," and it's like you are walking.
I don't remember this at all.
It's
There's a whole like scene where they're like, "Look how fast we run."
I think I was folding laundry.
It's just like the rollerblading scene where they're just doing random flips for no reason. Actually, that reminds me, I want to go back to another thing. Speaking of random flips, where the Pink Ranger, when she's falling and she transport, as we're talking about, it's kind of cool that she was her Zeo form.
Yeah.
She falls, and then Tommy's like, "Oh no, I'll save her," and then does a
cliff dive.
a triple front flip into the water, where we're just supposed to believe that she fell. And
He didn't even look or anything.
It was incredibly treacherous for her, but he can do a fucking triple front flip.
He's Tommy.
Anyway,
There's another great moment actually in the pre-cave moments where they're finally like, "All right, we should probably morph."
did you
right?
say pre-Cambrian?
The Precambrian moments of this movie. I was like, we talk about how a lot of the other Rangers don't get any fun moments or that many. And I wanted to point out one that the Yellow Ranger gets actually, Tanya. It's actually one of the funnier moments in the movie, I think.
Not the Love Boat moment.
No, not that one. But okay, yeah. Well, I guess you get multiple moments.
Yeah.
They're all gonna morph, right? And
Yeah.
the funny thing about every time they morph, even if it's brand new morphing
Right.
powers, they all have this special move they do, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so this one, they're like, all right, it's let's shift into turbo, and they all go, wah, and they all are facing one way, and
right.
Justin is facing the opposite way, and she looks at him like, the fuck? And he goes, oh shit, sorry.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of funny.
No, that was probably one of the better moments.
She
in the movie,
gives him
yeah.
a look like, sir.
Let me just get the child star check-in out of the way for
Let's do it.
Justin. Blake Foster played Justin, but before that, he was the Huggies baby for several years. And then, as far as I can tell, he has done nothing else other than be Justin forever. And continue
Hey, just like you.
Continue his training.
I did it first.
He did continue his training in martial arts, but based on his social media and his all he does is go to cons and release merchandise related to the Blue Ranger and talk about how he's been the Blue Ranger and try to be the Blue Ranger again.
That's amazing.
He came back in one of the later seasons as an adult.
The legacy thing.
Yeah, but it's how did they even recognize him? He looks nothing like he did when he was a little kid.
Zordon just has his Rolodex of teenagers. Can we call him back this month?
Yeah, I guess so. But no, I mean, he has 2 kids. He has a wife. That's really cool and everything. I'm sure he's great. But literally, I think his livelihood is only just being the Blue Ranger.
That's funny. So why don't we get to the friggin' cave sequence?
So yeah, they get to this island, and then it's the Divatox is taking them all to the Temple of Doom,
She's
Where-
like, I'm gonna meet my
Kali.
sexy husband.
Kalima, where there is a magical fire that can turn people evil.
Yeah.
And we
This
get
is kind of fun, I guess.
and we
I
get
think it's pretty fun.
evil Amy Jo.
Well, like I liked that. Like the Rangers are there, and you're like, oh, they're not gonna get put in this friggin' lava pit.
Yeah.
Like they're fighting, they're gonna save them, whatever. But no, they get put in the lava pit.
Well, and the thing that reinforces that, like, oh, the Rangers are here, like they're gonna kick their ass, is that Divatox has put a call in to Rita Repulsa,
yeah.
saying like what the fuck, like
love
like
that.
the Power Rangers are here, like what should I do? And then she's like, oh, well, if I knew how to do that, I won't be listening to this. And then she just puts Zed on the phone snoring. So I was like, I guess they're married.
Yeah, they got married.
They're married, like in the original
this
series.
show.
Okay, do they have like weird babies?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I did like though how Rita Repulsa was basically like, fuck you. And just
Yeah.
like hangs up on her. She's like,
Yeah, my
screw
advice to
you. What do I
you.
give a shit?
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Anyway, so you think that the Rangers are going to save the day, but turns out that original Red and original Pink get lowered into fucking
No,
lava.
it's cool though because Amy Jo is still the best actor, and she is, being evil and having fun with it, and then it's weird
they-
because
And she starts chewing
They
scenery.
lower her
like,
voice down a
yeah.
little bit.
the Jason and Tommy tension that has always existed. Like you see it kind of come
Yeah.
back, and Kimberly's there, and you're like, oh, they're fighting! Oh god!
And like Jason totally wants to kill Tommy, and
Yeah.
and he doesn't he say something like, "I'm the Red Ranger."
yeah, he's like,
now."
I'm the leader. Yeah,
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is great."
yeah.
Because they don't really they don't go
Yeah.
too deep.
And
into
he's
that.
like, now I'm the one with the muscles and the power. And then Tommy's retort is, that's right, Jace, but you're not using brain power.
Oh yeah, and then he flips him back into the lava or whatever.
yeah, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
Kimberly gets to be like, "Pink is out of style."
Yeah, and then kick somebody in the chest.
yeah, and she's making like
Yeah.
noises and stuff. It's really fun, and they have red eyes.
They do have red
That's
eyes.
how you know they're evil.
Yep.
But yeah, it's super fun. But then Larago has to ruin all the fun by
Making them not evil.
using magic powers.
Oh, we didn't even
to
talk
bring
about
them
how
back.
Divatox kidnapped Larago's...
Larago just gave up and was like, all right, I'm fine, I surrender. Because his wife and kid were there.
Because Divatox had kidnapped his wife and
He
kid.
has a wife that looks exactly like him, but with slightly more feminine features, and then a little baby.
Yeah. I guess we didn't really skip that. Whatever.
I mean, it's just like another costume.
I did like where after she, Malagor comes out of the lava, and he's a big lava monster guy.
He looks
And
like a gremlin and a pufferfish.
He does look like a gremlin, yeah.
And
Which is
Tanya,
cool.
I think it was Tanya, gets another good line where she's like, wait, she wants to marry him? Like- and then they were like, oh, well, let's fight him.
Well, like as he's coming out of the lava, like Divatox's face, she's like, "What the fuck am I? What? This is not what I wanted." But yeah, he's great. He's like this giant like dude in a costume with like puppetry on his face and stuff going on. Pretty cool.
Yeah, his teeth were scary. He had very sharp, bitey teeth.
But yeah, they eventually get outside, and you know what he's got to do? He's got to get big.
Gotta get big.
He's got to swole up.
He has to. So they get outside, and then he finds the Zoltar machine, puts the quarter in, and then
He just kind of goes like, "I'm bigger and bigger."
And then they make the Jeep Zord Stumpy or whatever you call it. That's stupid.
They're called Turbo Zords.
Doesn't look
It's
cool.
the Turbo Megazord.
It's so stumpy though.
it looks
Well,
cooler
this
than
one
the Zord
is
from the other
better,
movie.
yeah. The I would say like the cool thing about these Zords in that didn't really happen in the last movie, but in this one for sure, is like when the transformation that they go through. In
They
the
show how
movie,
they fit together.
Yeah, is exactly what the toy would be like. So like,
Yeah.
if you watch the show enough times or the movie, you could buy that toy, put it together without even having to look at the instructions. Or whatever.
Same dad. Oh God, no.
But I did think it was weird that this one like it comes together. It like has jetpacks on the. Oh, first of all, it's taken for fucking 10 minutes for this thing to get together, while the monster's just like, okay, checking my watch. I guess I could just wait here all day. But yeah, so it stands up and it looks super blocky, like you said. But then it kind of like goes through a like transformation all of a sudden. Well, after it's been standing to look a little bit cool.
It goes through a crossfade.
Yeah, it's just like no, this is what I look like now. Yeah, kind of weird. But it's like a sweet
Because the
robot.
miniature that they built did not look like the guy in the costume.
exactly. And they fight. They fight it up.
They fight it up.
And they do that hilarious thing where it's like, "Oh, I'm on fire," and the robot's going like, "Ah, ah," and then the people inside are also going like, "Ooh, ah," and I'm like, you're always wondering like, does the robot just follow their moves, or are they actually using like joysticks? I don't really know.
Does the robot feel pain?
There's no emergency brake.
Yeah, nobody
button.
gets kicked in the balls.
They do manifest a sword and a tire shield out of
do?
nowhere.
What? I don't remember that either.
What?
I don't remember anything else about the movie until the final scene now.
Oh my god! So they do all this fighting.
I just my brain turned off.
and yeah, they
And
fight.
then they hit the turbo button that allows them to charge.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So they
cut
fly really
Malagar.
fast, and like he flips and falls off. No, this is amazing. He flips and falls off a cliff, and there's like a wide shot of him falling off the cliff, which looks really cool.
Yep.
But he falls off the cliff and then explodes.
and then there's a close up of the Megazord with the fire behind it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes.
And he's doing that like,
This is
I'm
why this
standing
show is
still,
great.
Not giving a fuck about this explosion.
And
behind me.
then it cuts to stock footage of lava in the sea. Lava. And then Divatox is like, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, they're like, nope, bye.
And then it immediately cuts to a karate tournament.
Well, first the robot kills all his friends because he's like, need a ride, and they all get in his hand, and he goes crushed.
Not if you watch the titles. Not if you watch the credits.
That's true. Yeah. You're right.
Which I did because I knew someone would yell at me.
Well, there was a mid-credit scene last week too. But
I know we
even
didn't talk about it. I watched that one too.
Okay.
If
fine.
you're keeping score at home.
So how does the movie end, Tyler?
Well, it ends with a 3-on-3 karate tournament that I cannot discern the rules of.
I know. It's like whichever one wins gets the money, and you're like, are they just supposed to kill each
And
other?
the community center is saved.
in a wrestling ring.
Kids all have parents now, or new basketballs. We're not sure.
The stakes are unclear.
$25,000 buys so many parents.
It reminds me. This happened this weekend. There was we're at a sushi restaurant. This is apropos of nothing, but it is relevant to the stakes at the end of this movie, where it's like this kid's just crying outside of this place, and the mom's like, "It's okay, you're gonna love it here." And one of the people we were with was just like, is he talking about like the sushi restaurant or like Los Angeles? Like, did they move? Like, what is this high stakes or low stakes? Like, what's the situation here? And that is very much like that. It's like, yeah, it is either new basketballs or like the kids get to eat tonight. But you wouldn't think that if it was, yeah, they're getting $25,000 for like beating the rival town's karate team. And then at the end of it, the Blue Ranger Justin gets on Tommy's shoulders with a trophy and it freeze frame.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, this was a Rocky movie the whole time.
It was a Rocky movie, and then but like, isn't that weird? Because like he's a grown man.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
There was also this really weird shot. There's also this really weird shot that I had to rewind the episode. I had to rewind the movie.
No, you were right the first time.
Yeah, I had to rewind the movie because I was like, who the fuck did this? There's a shot where like I should just take a screenshot of it for later. But after they win, Justin is in the audience and he's like, yeah, they did it. I knew he could do it. And it's like a close up on his face. And then like out of nowhere, Kat like comes in, but it's only her boobs.
Yeah.
She comes in
and
and
just
goes,
smushes
I knew.
his face.
Yeah, and so it's like a close up is his face and her boobs and like not her face at all. And she's like, I knew they could do it. Let's go say hi to him. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like who framed this shot like
She
this?
forgot how tall he was
It
because
takes up like half the screen. It's ridiculous.
Which again, there's implications there.
I watched it in slow motion to watch the kid's eyes to see if he was like, but he was a professional. He didn't look down.
By the way, I just want to point out too that I didn't look it up or anything, but the director of this film is named David Winning.
David Winning.
Well, he only got there was a contract dispute, so he has only a co-directing credit, even though he did direct the movie. And it was the producer who got the co-directing credit. We didn't mention the other one, the Brian Spicer, who directed the last film, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, went on to direct all of the television. And then this guy, David Winning, went on to direct like a bunch of the Lifetime holiday movies.
Oh, so he's rich.
Did
Yeah.
you guys also see another thing I forgot to mention last week? One of the writers on the
Oh,
first
yeah.
movie was John Camps.
I did.
Oh, I did see that, yeah.
Is that your long lost cousin? Or
I have no
uncle?
idea.
I mean, it might
Let's
be.
find out. If you're listening out there, send us a...
But he also wrote Zathura, A Space Adventure.
Ooh,
And The
Space
Borrowers.
Jumanji. Space Jumanji.
You know what else he wrote? Premium Rush.
we were just talking about it. What is the rush?
Whatever
What
it
is
is, it's premium. Must cost a lot. Anyways,
Oh, God.
I think. Wait, so what happened in the end credits? To see if you actually watched it.
So, everybody goes onto the ship, Zord, and then I got in my car.
I didn't see it either.
It's just like, yeah,
I can't tell you how I watched.
It's
this
like it was
movie, so.
everyone being happy, like on the deck of like so like Skull and Bulk got to like get inside a Zord, and they're like,
Oh, wait, I did see
dog,
this.
hooray!
Yeah, and then it shows the cars driving again on there.
Oh, cool.
So, do
The desert
Bulk and
plains.
Skull ever get turned back to normal? Do they ever get their memories back, or are
They're
their
probably-
lives and their
They're
family
probably
and
normal
friends
in the
lost?
first episode of Power Rangers Turbo on Fox
yeah,
Kids.
or maybe not. We'll find out. That'd be a fucked up.
They have to start
That'd be
over.
great.
As
They
German.
start like a Bavarian restaurant,
That'd be really fucked up.
like a beer hall.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
I was gonna do the rating system.
Oh yeah, go
Wait,
for
but,
it.
like,
guys
okay,
ready?
If they,
Oh, yeah.
if Bulk and Skull, they have to have like their old memories back, and these memories are erased because they don't know who the Power Rangers are, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. So Zordon probably goes like,
Woo! Literal
Oh,
hand waving.
maybe that's something that Larragat does.
Oh,
oh,
Larragat.
Larragat could do it. Larragat, you bitch.
Oh, it does end too with one of the shots of Justin holding the little Larago baby.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. That baby was cute.
Yeah.
And even the baby had a mind-breaking, like, you know how they had psychic powers?
Yeah.
They put one on the baby, too.
Yes, they did.
Which I thought
reminded
was
me of that.
really funny.
Fast and Furious, where the
No,
girl
this
and
was
the
like
baby
Fast
are in
and
the,
Furious.
yeah.
It was like, let's get these cars onto a boat. Like,
No, I mean how they took the lady and the baby and were keeping them hostage and doing that. Yeah, anyway.
No, but I forgot like how much I was like, this is like the Fast and Furious like Power Rangers movie.
Yeah.
Okay, ratings.
How many ordinary cars are you going to give this out of 10? Anyone? Who wants to go first?
I'm gonna give it, and this is gonna be confusing. I'm gonna give it 4 extraordinary cars, which means I actually like this better than the first one.
Interesting.
Because the CG wasn't as fun. I thought that it felt more like a TV show, and it felt like more of the things that I liked about everything, and it did not feel as forced as some of the stuff in the Power Rangers movie. And I think that I actually was able to have more nostalgia for the actual things that were going on in it. I thought I fucking hated the kid, but there was a ghost ship. I mean, and there was a jungle, and there was, I mean, like, it's fun adventure stuff, and like I get it. Yeah, so I actually ended up having a better time with this one than Power Rangers.
I'm going to do a Kickstarter petition to that's like change the name of the kid in Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, to something other than just.
You're like, Tyler, we can have competing Kickstarters.
I want them to digitally change
His name. I can make that cut for you tonight.
That would be hilarious. Eliz, what about you?
I'm gonna give it 4 ordinary cars. I don't know. I think it's probably just because I didn't know who any of the people were, and so I had a really hard time paying attention to this because I found the action so lame with the cars, and then the characters I didn't really care that much.
So ordinary.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Kimberly was there,
No
and
Tanya.
Tommy was there, but I didn't like Kat, and I don't know. Larago was okay. I thought
He was cool.
He was cool. Like that creature design is cool.
Like there's a bunch of practical funness for this. They blew up a tall ship. They didn't blow up a tall ship, but like
A small version.
Yeah. They set some lumber on fire on a.
But it's hard because it's like they're trying to backdoor pilot it, so you don't really care about Divatox and whoever
Right.
yet because
I
you
think
just
that's-
met him. for
She
the
went on
first
to be on
time.
the show, I think.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, actually, she was replaced for a little bit, and then
Okay.
she came back because she was on maternity leave or something.
Okay. I mean, she worked.
So, yeah, the character was played by another woman for a bit, and then
She was in like Deep Space Nine. She's been on a ton of stuff.
So yeah, 4 for me.
I'm going to also say 4.
Yeah.
But mostly because of the practical effects and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
this movie, this is, like I said, this is the part of the series where I started to not quite care as much. Like, some of the original cast were there, but, as they start changing people out and you get less and less, you're like, I was totally into the first group of people. And then also, I think, honestly, part of it might have been the cars at the time. I was just like, they're not cool.
Like, I don't play with Hot Wheels.
Yeah, they're not cool, like, animals or anything anymore. Like, cars, like,
No, you had me at Robot Dinosaur Power Rangers.
Right.
You had me at Robot Dinosaurs.
Also, I like the little kid from the first movie better, even though he didn't become a Power Ranger.
He was
like,
a better
the
actor.
Suicide stuff, that was like, I don't want to
Yeah.
say cool, but it was just better.
Yeah, this one, again, like it just kind of like throws you into this kind of expecting that stuff and who these
Would
people
you feel
are.
better about it? There was apparently a Dulcea type person that was like an alabaster mermaid that helped them.
Wait,
Yes, this was all shot and then cut from the movie.
Yes, I would.
I would like that more as well. Yeah, I gotta say.
Anything that adds more crazy
Yeah.
makes it go
Fair
up
enough,
in
fair
my
enough.
mind. But it was still fun to watch, and I did like that. I like the music better in this because it's more like the TV show. But yeah, I still, the other one too, I have more nostalgia for that, and this one I don't have so much. I this is one that I rented at Blockbuster.
It's crazy that this was in theaters.
Yeah.
How did it do?
It only made like $8 million, which is why there was maybe no more movies for quite some time. But yeah, it didn't do as well, unfortunately. But it
How
did.
fickle people were.
Yeah, it did kick
I don't
off.
know. I just said it like Yoda.
I mean, how fickle people were. So it did kick off Power Rangers Turbo, and the series is still going strong to this day. So
Sure.
it didn't take it down.
Do kids still do karate? Is that a thing?
Yeah, why not?
I would be endlessly interested to know if people are still super into Power Rangers because
It's still on.
I know.
Well,
They just
if you-
sold it again.
if you are, Hila's worth it, get in contact with us.
Yes, please tell us about all your fandom at sequelrights@gmail.com, and then reach out to us on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Sequel Rights.
Please rate and review us on Apple. I was trying to think of a Ghost Galleon joke, and then I aborted out of it. And I just sounded like a crazy person. But despite that, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcasts. We really appreciate it, and reviews go a really long way, so we really appreciate it.
Yes, please. And thank you again to my brother for the theme song at the front. We love it. And next week we're going to be diving 20 years into the future to 2017.
Where Justin is a real boy, man.
Yeah, because we got to wait 20 years for the next Power Rangers movie. And it is a full reboot. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We complained about the effects a lot in the last one. So what would they do with the powers of today's animation?
Can't wait to find out.
Let's find out next week.